Your book fully illustrates how harmful religions have been throughout the centuries and how many atrocities men have committed and still commit in the name of God.
Not in the name of God, because of the belief in God.
But at the same time, there are reasons behind it. And these reasons are the constant struggle for domination and expansion, as well as the constant fear of the different, fear and despise for the different. Do you believe that without religion this struggle would come to an end?
No. I'll give you an example. Christianity is stolen from Judaism, and Islam is stolen from Christianity and Judaism. And these are plagiarisms, but the original monotheism is that of the covenant between God and the Jewish people, supposedly. Well, according to the Jews, God tells them to pray every morning. The men have to say, "Thank God I'm not a woman." And the women have to pray, "Thank God I am the way I am." And both have to thank God that they're not a Gentile or a slave. Well, obviously, this is not decided by God. It's designed by man, by men, to be exact, masculine, so that they can keep women in their place. That's easy. Only a fool can't see that. Okay? God did not decide this. Men used religion to own women. However, the impulse of men to own women would be there if they believe in God or not. It's just that it might be a bit harder to persuade female babies that they should be owned by men if they were not told that God wants it to be true. If all they're told is men want it to be true, they're not going to be very surprised. Tell them that God wants it to be true, and they may put up with it. The same with slavery. God wants people to be slaves? That's different from just men wanting to own other people. So that with the use of religion, the invention of the deity, you can disguise what would otherwise be obviously a man-made, ramshackle, hypocritical dictatorship. So that getting rid of the idea of the supernatural is one step, only one, but a very important one, perhaps the first one, perhaps the biggest one, on the road to emancipation.
Until reading your book, I never realized how many divine creators have been born from virgin women as Mary. You say Buddha, Krishna, Perseu, Horus, Mercury.
Several Aztec gods. I think there's no god that I know of in history. I have a whole paragraph of it.
That have been...
I say history, in mythology, that has not been born of a virgin. It would have been impossible for Christianity to sell itself as a religion if it did not continue this Egyptian, Aztec, Persian, Mongol tradition. Even Buddha is born from a slit in his mother's side. Anything but the birth canal, anything but the vagina. This unclean vessel, God has for some reason used only one-way street.
But was this the eternal fear of sex, or perhaps the need that make an origin for God that would be different from the human biological system?
It's the religious fear of sex, certainly, but it's also the male revulsion from what it most desires. Men need women, and they don't like the fact that they need them. They need them terribly. They hate the fact that they need them. They experience a disgust about this fact. Religion makes that into a system and consecrates it. My first wife was Greek Orthodox, Eastern Christian. When she was having her monthly period, she wasn't allowed to go to the church. Certainly not to take the sacrament of Mass. I think that used to be true, at any rate, of the Western Orthodox, the Roman Catholic as well. It's certainly true of Judaism. And the revulsion from female menstrual fluids is very common, of course, also in Islam and in all other cults. This comes from human anthropology. It does not come from heaven. It does not come from the sky. It doesn't come from the planets. It doesn't come from the sun and the moon and the stars. It comes from the base, very primitive forms of human anthropology. It's the first thing to know about it.